Hey YouTube, this is Chris with the Po' Boy Special Channel. We're back over here at Scotty's Gunworks. He has been kind enough to let us come over here and see some more work that he's doing. And I'm going to walk over there and get with Scott. Hey Scott, you know what? Every time you invite us over here, it's for something really cool. So what do you have in store for us tonight?
Well, what we're going to do here is we got a AK here with a brace on it. I don't know if you remember the video or not, but we put this brace on here and everything. So anyway, what we're going to do with it, we're going to kind of lighten it up a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to replace the furniture here with some lighter furniture. The ATI Advanced Technology is what that is.
This is a UTG quad rail up here right now, and the thing is wonderful. It holds great. It is solid as a rock and heavy as a ton.
Like a brick.
It really is. It really is. So like you said, we're going to try to lighten this up a little bit.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the old furniture off there, you know, which is that right there, and we're going to replace it with this right here, and that's going to lighten it up a little bit, and also give it a different look.
All right.
All right, what we done is we finally took the furniture off the gun, as everybody can tell. And what we're kind of going for here is to try to lighten it up a little bit. But you know what? I sat here and I compared the two, and really there ain't too much difference in the lightness of it. This right here is a little bit heavier, but not really enough to where you could really tell it. Truthfully, this right here is a lot more durable because it's made out of aluminum. And, you know, it just basically boils down to this. After taking it off and comparing it, is which one do you like best? So what we're going to do, you know, for the purpose of the video, is we're going to go ahead and install this one right here on there, the ATI one, and we're going to see how it looks and everything, you know, and plus show you how to do it. You know, that way if you decided you wanted to put something like this here on your gun, you'll kind of have an idea, you know, what to do. And of course, feel free to send it down here, you know, if you need any help with it. I'll be glad to do it for you, you know, but for a small fee, obviously. But anyway, we'll go ahead, you know, and start putting the Picatinny rails on. I'll kind of show you how to do that. Really nothing to it. Basically all you do is you take your Picatinny rail, and you already got cutouts here for it. And it just basically fits in there like that, and then you've got a series of screws right here. And you basically want to make sure that you put the right length screw in there, because you got nuts that go on the back of that, as you can tell. And this right here looks like the shorter one, so this one's probably not the one for that. It's just common sense. You'll go with the longer one, because that's the one you'll need for that, as everybody can see it's protruding through, which is what you want. But what I would probably suggest doing, if you do that, is I'd probably put a little Loctite on it.
And folks, just to let you know, the ATI polymer front end on this is made out of a DuPont high heat polymer. It's a glass packed polymer, so it really is a state-of-the-art high quality polymer on it. So it's not like it's a weak system at all. It's just that there's no way that polymer can stand up to like an aluminum.
Yeah, aluminum obviously, you know, is a metal, and this is a polymer plastic, which, you know, again is a fine material. We put red Loctite. My suggestion would be, you know, to put red Loctite on a polymer in this particular situation, because, you know, you get some recoil there. You're going to have flashlights and stuff like that on there, which is this is screwed on there, and the red will just hold it a lot better. But you know what? If you're ever going to take this off, if you decide you want to take this off, then I'll probably go with the blue. And the reason why is because the blue will be a lot easier to take off later on. You'd have to put a little heat on the red a lot of times. And of course, obviously, we wouldn't want to put no heat on this right here, you know. It'd probably break loose with the red on there, you know, without putting heat. But to be on the safe side, I think I'd go ahead and just put the blue on there, and that way we wouldn't have to worry about it. Well, here we are so far. We've got the Picatinny rails installed on it. We've just got this thing here pushed up on there. So far, we didn't have to really worry about any, you know, modifications. It pretty much just snapped up on there with no problem. What we're doing now is we're just kind of putting it on there, you know, making sure everything is fitting correctly, and so far so good. Having to kind of, you know, move some stuff around a little bit, you know, to make the pieces go back into where they need to go. There we go. And that went in there real good. Right there's pretty stiff. I got a little plastic hammer here, you know, just kind of tap that in there. That ain't no big deal or anything, you know. If you lightly tap it, it don't move, then you need to move it around to make sure that it's going to go down into the slot there. Just remember that as a rule of thumb on anything like that.
Yeah, don't need to force it.
Exactly. You can lightly tap it. If I don't do the trick, then there's something else in the way there. So,
Gotcha.
But anyway, and then that bottom half is installed. And what I did is I put a little Loctite. Like I said, I went on ahead and put the blue Loctite on there this go around in case we want to take this off, you know. If I knew I wasn't going to take it off, I'd go with the red, and that way I know for a fact, you know, that it would never come loose. But the blue Loctite should hold it with no problem as well. But as you can see, you know, we got nuts on there along with screws holding it on there. We got 3 of them on the bottom. I went on ahead and installed the top one on there. Got them all Loctited on there as well. And that'll go on there like that right there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because it's got the little end piece on there, which will coincide with that right there. We haven't really showed everybody all the steps involved in this because it's mostly self-explanatory. So this right here is one I did want to show though, because this right here is where a lot of folks have problems, and that's putting the furniture on the gas tube. And basically what you do with it is, I'll show you, just find you a good vise, and you want to clamp it on this end right here. And you know, not a lot of pressure, just snug it down on there real good. And usually, you know, sometimes you may have to do a little bit of modification, may have to shorten it a little bit, or maybe cut a little off in there. But in this particular case right here, I don't believe we'll have to do that. Of course, we won't know until we get into it here. But I'm thinking we can just put it on there and I can show everybody how it's done, and that way you'll know what to do. And it's going to seem kind of weird, but this is how they do it. This is even how they put the wooden piece on, you know, at the factory. But anyway, you got these little grooves right here, like a little dovetail-like thing, and just push it up on the bottom there. Let me show everybody, as everybody can see how it's stuck into the frame part there, you know, like so.
Okay.
Just turn it back like that right there. Put it back in your vise, kind of tighten it up, and just make sure it's pushed all the way up in there, okay? And then just, see how I'm doing that? There we go. Sometimes you got to just really force it. You just want to be careful not to tear anything up or mess the gas tube up. But you probably have to be like Hercules in order to bend that with your hand.
Yeah, really.
So, but anyway, that right there is the finished product. Now what we may do in this particular situation right here, you can see how it's kind of bowed. Okay? So what I'm going to do, that'd probably be okay, but I think I'm going to take it apart, and I'm going to take me a little file, and I'm going to take a little off right here, and maybe a little off right here. And that's going to relieve the pressure, and that way when we turn it up in there, it'll take that bow out of there. Can you see the principle? Okay,
Absolutely.
we'll do that, and then we'll show you. This is the before, and then I'll show you the after effect.
All right.
Exactly. You know, so far so good. We didn't have to have any gunsmithing required up until this point.
Yeah.
But this ain't no real big issue. I mean, anybody can do this. Just, you know, just want to make sure you don't, again, you don't take off more than you can afford. Well, all right, here it is right here. We've got it all fitted on there and everything. As you can see, we got the bow out of that. You know, maybe just a slight one still in there, but not enough to speak of. So, looks really good.
Well, the real thing that was concerning me was that the top rail here was actually
It was bowed,
arched.
yeah, it was. Yeah. And the problem with that was, well, I'll just take it apart and I'll show it to you. That way, if anybody decides to do this themselves, they'll know kind of sort of what to watch for. You know, we just take it off by twisting like that. But what I did is I took, and of course I shortened that like that right there, you know, like I said I was going to do, and even shorten this right here a little bit on each side. Being real careful not to get it too thin. It's still plenty thick. And what I didn't see until I really got to looking at it was the screws. Sometimes them things right there would be too long, they'll protrude through. So I just took and I ground them down a little bit. A combination of all that right there made it to where this falls right in there.
And there's no more arch
no more bow, no more arch.
on the top rail, and
Everybody can see, and it looks nice and neat. And
Looks
now we'll
perfect.
go ahead and move forward with it.
okay, we're getting close to wrapping this up. What's next?
Yeah, well, I just kind of wanted to show me putting this on there. That way everybody will kind of have something to look for. Because a lot of people overlook this and then they don't realize it until they done put it on there and they done broke the taps off. But anyway, you got little taps right here so everybody can see them right there. And what you want to do is you want to make sure they tuck inside of that right there. And so basically it just boils down to doing it this way right here. You just want to make sure the little taps go in there. Make sure both sides are in there, because sometimes just one side will go in there and then you'll you'll, 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 you'll crush it down on there and you done bend them and everything else. But anyway, you got the little taps that's basically how that works. Always keep your little plastic mallet on hand, you know, 'cause sometimes those things right there get a little tight, you know. Like I
And
say,
that's
don't
in
wanna-
there.
don't
That's
wanna
not going
hammer it in
anywhere.
there real tight, but you want it to be good and snug. But yeah, that's on there good and tight. You ain't got to worry about that coming loose on you. And we, you know, Loctited them all down on there.
So check the iron sights real quick and see if you can see the iron sights down through that.
You can. Yeah, plenty of clearance there for the iron sights.
Excellent.
So what we'll do is we'll put it all together and then we'll show the finished product.
All right. All right. Well, this has been a sort of a lengthy deal because of the resizing, but is it any lighter, Scott?
You know what? Not really enough to speak of. I mean, maybe a little bit, but not to me. It's cosmetic. It's basically what it all boils down to. I mean, depends on what a person likes.
All right.
Personally, I think that one looks better. This year's got a better feel as far as, you know, your hand. You know, because it's like the original furniture.
Yeah, it does give you a place to,
Right,
purchase your hand
That's really the
there.
only advantage I see. As far as, you know, making it any lighter, I don't think it made it light enough to notice.
So between the UTG and the ATI polymer versus aluminum rails, really, as far as weight is concerned, you're not getting
I don't
anything for the
believe so.
money.
No, sir, I don't believe so. I think, you know, I'm kind of from the old school, you know, I like metal over polymer, you know. But that right there really looks nice. By far, it ain't gonna, you know, come off or anything like that, and it'll probably be around 100 years from now, you know. So it just really depends on what a person wants.
All right. Well, thanks for letting us watch this.
Sure.